Mm. Yeah. Mm.
Hey y'all, and welcome back. Okay. So we are here today to discuss. So as you see, I have changed up the hair and the locks. Okay, so I went from braid locks, DIY braid locks that I did braid in myself, to some lock extensions that I also, now I didn't make the lock extensions. I didn't have that type of patience. But I did order them and I did install them myself. Okay. So we're here just to discuss. Okay. So, if you're here, if you've seen any of my other lock content, then you know that I did start with braid locks that I braided in myself. They were, I would say they were small, medium. They were a pretty small size. I had about, as soon as I got done installing them, I had close to 90. And then, like I said, I did lose some along the way, some that I never put back in. And so I think right before I did take those out, I had about, I would say 80 something locks at that point. So what the issue I was having was the size. So originally I didn't know if I wanted thicker locks or if I wanted something more like micro locks. So I went with something in the middle. So like I said, I think mine were more like medium, like small, medium size. And then as time went on, I realized that I was a little more into the thicker locks. The other thing was the braid pattern. And it's not a bad thing because I've seen some people with braid patterns and I think it's gorgeous. But for me personally, the braid pattern became an issue and I wanted to get rid of the braid pattern. I no longer wanted to be able to see the braid. And of course, as my natural hair grew out, I could actually, see, what my natural lock forming looked like, but it still was at that line of demarcation for me where I could see the braid lock versus my own hair as it was growing out. And I didn't like the visual of the braid. Okay, so it got to the point where it's like, no, yeah, that is, along with the fact that I wanted a thicker lock look. I wanted it to look fuller, be thicker. And as I discussed in another video, is that I don't have the thickest hair, not the thinnest either, but not the thickest. So I wasn't sure what it would look like for me to have thicker locks. So of course, I did realize that for me to go thicker, I would probably need to minimize the amount of locks I have. So that is what I did. As somebody and a wonderful young lady commented on one of mine, she said I would need to go to a smaller amount of locks if I don't have the thickest hair, with hopes that the locks will get as thick as I'm hoping. There's still no way to know, honestly. So I definitely went with a thicker size. So my daughter helped me part them off. Like I said, originally I was thinking 50 to 60 locks. Wasn't able to fit 50 to 60 locks in my hair with the size parting that I wanted. And the size parting I wanted is so I could try to imagine what in the future it may look like as it grows out, the thickness. So that's kind of what I went off of. So along this process, what I have realized is that Demiki can be real picky when it comes to her hair. And the other thing that I'm realizing is that I get caught up in a particular look. And like I said, I went to school for cosmetology. I've done this for years, and I still have to sometimes bring myself back to reality. I'm like, Damika, you can't compare your locks and to everyone else. Everybody has different hair types, different grades of hair, different density, all of that different type of stuff. And I realized that. So I'm like, I have to get to a place where I'm okay with how my locks look, even if they do not turn out the way that I'm hoping. Okay. So I am going to be sharing some pictures of my journey over the way, my braid lock journey, and they were lock extensions. But it was my journey. It was, me watching them as they changed, as they grew out, different things like that. So I'm going to share some of that because, of course, some people are very interested in the braid lock journey and trying the braid locks, even if it's not with extensions. If, say, it's with your natural hair, that's an option as well. And then you have others that are more interested in just the lock extension process itself. So that's what I definitely want to share. So let's see here. So I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to pull it down, and I right now have it in, I had it in a bun with a scrunchie. Okay. And if you've seen my last vlog where I, introduced my hair, I did a retwist on it, the first retwist after installing them, and my perception of them, I wasn't quite sure yet. My perception of them have definitely changed. I am liking how they look. I'm liking the thickness. Okay, so let me talk about the hair itself. So the hair itself, I did order from Amazon. Okay, and it's from Teresa Hair on Amazon. As you can see, so it comes, I ordered 70 strands because I was thinking if I'm going between 50 to 60, that leaves me extra strands in case I mess up a few trying to install them, in case there's some issues. And like I said, I didn't even need to use all 50 to 60. So at the very top, you have the loose kinky hair here. And at the bottom, you can see, and I did get them in 10 inches. And 10 inches is a pretty nice length. For me, I wanted something that gave me some length, but I didn't need too much length. I was okay with something hitting the shoulders. And it's actually a lot longer than that, actually. So I'm loving my decision for the length, because I was a little worried. I was like, is 10 inches going to be too short? But with it connected to my own hair, now what I did have to do with the braid locks is I had to, I cut the braid lock where my natural hair stopped, and my natural hair had grown out about this much. I cut it, and what I did is I had to, I used conditioner, a rat tail comb, rose water and water mix, and I took my time and I detangled my hair, my natural hair, to get it prepared to install these locks. Okay. So the only issue that I saw with these locks that bothered me just a tad, it was not much, just a tad, was the very blunt ends. And I hope you all can see what I'm trying to show you. The very blunt ends. How it looks like someone possibly cut the end. I don't know why. Maybe to make the 10 inches, maybe they make them longer, and as you order them, they, cut them. I don't know. But I will say that over time, the blunt of the ends have kind of wore off. Now, what I also did is I would go in from time to time and just kind of take the ends and just with my fingers, just kind of move them about. And you see how that does? It just kind of gets rid of that real blunt cut look. So that's not a biggie at all at this point. You know, it is looking different. I have since, you know, did some oil and water, different things like that. And I think it is settling in so much better. When I say that this looks like it is growing out of my scalp, that's what I mean. And that's what I was looking for. So I did install them myself. And as you can see, and you maybe can see where my natural hair kind of connects to the lock. Okay. So, yeah, let's see. So right here is where the lock starts, and that's all my natural hair. So the tools I used were these. Now these I also got from Amazon. These I also got from Amazon, and I have a 2-prong one as well. Not sure what happened to it, which is why I didn't make a debut in this video, because I have no idea where it's at the moment. But it was a 3-pack with a 3-prong, a 2-prong, and a 1-prong. So this is what I use to install them. Okay. So now what I have to do is what I find myself doing, because from time to time, I can see places where, you know, they may need a little. What I do is I go in and and you want to turn it as you go. You're turning it as you go, just to form that lock and that cylinder look. Okay, you're going to turn it as you go. And then you go in and I palm roll just to kind of, and as you see there, okay. So that's what I've been doing on and off. I just kind of take a little time and I will, you know, work a little bit on some more to kind of give them a little more of a uniform look. And like I said, I'm okay with it not being uniform. Like you can see there, where you can kind of see where my natural hair is a lot more frizzy than the lock itself, but the lock itself is more condensed. So that's why I take it and I kind of go in and get it and then do the palm roll just to kind of give it a more even look. Also, I can notice that my natural hair is a little darker than the lock. Not a lot. Like this one has a lot of, let's go in and let's see. Like my natural hair is a lot, not a lot, a fair amount of darker than the lock itself. And get you some finger protectors, okay? So I've done it without them, but I do suggest them, okay? By the time I thought about the fact that I didn't have any, I was like, nope, we getting these done. I'm not waiting on nobody to ship them out. My local beauty supply, and you see how that kind of helped that one out some. My local beauty supply didn't have any in store, so I would have for, you know, them to come, and I kind of planned out how I wanted to do it, so I had time, so I didn't feel rushed putting them in. Okay, so like I said, it's from Teresa Hair on Amazon. I feel like I got a great deal for the hair that I got. Now I haven't colored it yet. I have thought about coloring it. I have thought about it. Now that it's settling in, I'm like, I'm fine if I don't. It's settling in. It's settling. It's settling in. So I'm like, even if I don't color it, I am in love at the current moment. So I'm unsure if I'm going to color it, but if I do, I'll definitely bring you all along for the journey to color it if we decide to, you know, give it a little color at some point in the, you know, along the way. Not sure when, but I am loving it, guys. I am loving it. As you can see, I definitely went with pretty big parts. So you can kind of see how big that part is. So I wanted, like I said, I wanted that thicker look, and I knew that would mean thicker parts. Okay, so for my lock count, so what we were able to get into the hair is I have right at 40 locks. Okay, so that's how big my parting was. And I mean, I don't have the biggest head, right? So, you know, I don't have the biggest head space, so that could have something to do with it too. But that's just with the middle part. And I mean, when I say it looks so natural, y'all, I'm one of those people where I don't mind saying that they're lock extensions. But if you are a person who doesn't, you know, want to share that, you don't have to. And they look so natural. They look so natural. Also, remember I had those short places in the top that I talked about that I've always dealt with. I found that doing it this method, I was able to catch those shorter spots. And like I said, my hair is about this long there. So it ain't super short, but it is shorter than the rest of my hair. And it has been that way for years, for quite a long time, probably since my early 20s. Okay. So it's been that way. And like I said, I don't know if it's a stress spot. I'm not sure exactly what it comes from, but that's what I was told. That's what I always thought. So that's what I went with. But I was able to catch it up with the tool. So I took the lock like so. Let me pull one out. So I took the lock and I was able to spread this out, intermix it with the short pieces, and then use the tool to combine it. And y'all look, I can have a middle part again with ease. I miss middle parts so bad, so bad. And now I think I didn't wear middle parts for, you know, so long that now I'm just kind of trained and I love the side part. So either way, but I like to be able to have the versatility to do what I want to do. If I want to do a middle part day, if I want to do a side part, if I want to make a bun, whatever I want to do, that's what I want to be able to do. Okay. So I wanted just to, you know, touch in with you all and give you some updates on my hair. Like I said, I do have 40 locks, and I went from the braid locks to these. Now, I do like them both for different reasons. I got so accustomed and used to my braid locks to where from time to time I do miss them. But I will say overall, I am loving that I got both things that I wanted this go round. I wanted the thickness. And like I said, as my hair grows out, I don't know if it's going to be thicker than I imagine. And I think I'll be okay. I'm going to have to be okay with it. I'm having to get in a place where I'm okay with how it turns out. Okay? Either way. Because I will forever be fixing. And forever. So yeah, I am loving that with this, I get the thickness. So with this, I get the thickness. And then I also don't have that braid pattern that, like I said, was very daunting for me. I was like, this braid pattern. And I knew it, that it's a possibility that the braid pattern wouldn't go away. And so, you know, it eventually was an issue. Okay. So just showing you all my hair. Okay. Just giving you some close-ups of how natural it looks, how much it matches my natural texture, okay? And I do have 40 locks. Remember I talked about how rigid they were? They are starting to fall. They are starting to fall and form, which I am loving. So I'm starting to get that look that I've been wanting. And I'm feeling good. I can shake them. They move. They lay down. You see? Okay. So your girl is happy with the results. I'm happy with the outcome. I'm happy with the results. I knew that I could do it if I watched a few videos, put my hands to it, that we'd figure it out. So I do have since I put in 40, I still have about 30 locks left. that I'm like, technically, I guess I could have ordered less. But, you know, for my happiness, the fact that it turned out and I love the way it turned out for me, I'm okay with that. I'm okay with the fact that I ordered a bit too much. So I have 2 bundles here and a 3rd bundle. So I have about 30 locks still left that I didn't even have to use. Okay. So again, this hair that I use is from Teresa Hair from Amazon. I want to say, and like I said, I got a really good deal. I want to say total it was under $200 for 70. I didn't even have to use all of it. I think they had an option where I could have gotten just like 50 or 60 locks, but I didn't get that because I figured I would have, I would want more just in case there was an issue while I was installing them. But technically I could have went, which probably would have brought me even under that $200 amount. So like I said, it was under $200, under $200. Okay. So yes, if you all have any questions, anything you want to know as far as the braid locks, as far as my traditional lock extension process, definitely let me know. Leave any questions you have. I will be more than happy to answer. Also, definitely thank you all to my new subscribers, my returning subscribers. Thank you for watching. We'll definitely have more content to come regarding locks, updates about how it's going with my locks. I do hauls, I do fashion, I do styling videos, and I also throw in some vlogs from time to time. Okay, so stay tuned, check me out, stay here and get to know your girl. Okay, so again, thank you all so much from the bottom of my heart for watching, for tuning in, and again, give me some thumbs up. It really helps me out. And go ahead and share with anybody who may want to, may need some pointers about the braid locks, whether it's the braid lock process, if it's the lock extension process. Give me a thumbs up and definitely share my video. Okay, so until next time, y'all stay beautiful, stay blessed, and I will see y'all next time. Bye, guys.